Inuyashiki. Yes.
I had to have something in my teeth. I'll probably cut that out in the final video. Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel. Well, actually, Lobster Magnet and Friends. Yes, that's what this proper
Yes.
channel's name is. I'm just like so used to the other one. I'm here with my buddy Gorogregoro,
That's me.
and we are here to talk about. Is this episode 5 of Inuyashiki? I think.
It is.
So things are still going at a very steady clip. It was funny, like while we were like going for our food break, I was looking up to see if how this material is adapted from the manga, and nothing like super important was cut. But like even now, this stuff was like I guess they're really bruising through it. They want to do this in 12 episodes because like they're like the scene where like they're trying out his superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a scene in the manga where Inuyashiki's like stacking, all the garbage so he can try out his weapons. And there's also a scene where he's like talking to the boy, and he flies up into space to see how far he can go.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I don't know if that is necessary, but the very first part of this episode felt very rushed, and it felt really weird. Like how quickly that boy was able to reason out that there was another robot human out there besides his friend, and that he could like scream like, "Oh, help me, he's gonna kill me," and he just shows up, and they like become friends so fast. It's just like it seems so improbable, like for that sequence of events to happen so quickly at all.
Well, that didn't bug me as much because it's like, it's a more fun event to have like Inuyashiki to have a civilian supporter. You see that a lot in like superhero narratives where like, the superhero like the Flash has like a bunch of normie friends who support him who don't have superpowers.
Oh,
Or, like,
don't get me wrong. I don't mind that at all. Like when he wants to support Inuyashiki, but it's just like the way they meet up and the way they, I guess the way that scene was written out, it didn't feel natural at all to me. I think it should have been like, just by happenstance somehow. Like maybe he was about to be mugged or something, and then Inuyashiki comes and rescue him or something. I don't know. I think that would have been way better than what happened here. It's just like the pacing of this anime is just so fast.
yeah.
Like they
but
didn't
like
play off very
for that
well.
element, like I didn't really, that's the material. Like, I would have preferred to have like, them having Yoshiki flying into the sky. And there was also a scene in the manga where they show like, Shishigami like curing his mom's cancer and like reaching inside her to like see the cancer and like eliminate it, which I was sad to see that taken away. But like, you don't 100% need that to tell the story. Just like you don't need a prolonged sequence of him discovering Yoshiki. Wouldn't you rather just get to the good stuff of them joining up versus like a prolonged thing of them meeting up, delaying the gratification of what you want?
Yeah, I mean, it also makes me curious how it plays out in the manga too. Like, if you read that meetup, like how they meet up in the manga, if it feels better than it does in the anime.
I don't know. I'd be curious if you have a chance. You should go skim through the manga and see what it's, whether or not you like its pacing or not. Like obviously this episode you can't equal the Yakuza storyline. That was like one of the best ones. But do you like the? Because the biggest thing that happened in this episode was like the sort of softening of Shishigami, where you see that he is like a empathetic side. That he has another family and he has a mother who he loves, and then you see the slightly better part of him. But unfortunately, it's too late. He's killed too many people, so even if he reforms, it's a little bit too late to like completely escape the consequences of that.
Yeah, that was also. I did not expect like his character to get any redemption at all, and in a way, he kind of did to some degree. Like, his mom and dad are separated. His dad is like living really well off while he's like alone with his mother, trying to take care of her. She has pancreatic cancer. He talks to his mother like, what if it was me who was killing all those people on the news? And she was like, you know, then he would have to be sent to hell, and then
Yeah.
we'd probably both have to be sent to hell. And he felt really guilty after that. He actually felt remorse because someone that he truly like loved and cherished like didn't like those actions. He's like, wow, I want to reform now because my mom, you know.
Yeah, it does give him like a softer, slightly more empathetic side, and you can sort of understand his logic. It's like, I don't know these people. I can just do what I want because I'm a robot god. But I did love that little dream sequence. It's like, oh my god, I'm human again! Yay!
That
Where
was
he thinks
just,
he is a.
that was just funny. It was a cute, funny moment.
Well,
Oh,
I think it was
and
also supposed to be like wistful and tragic and sad.
also, that random cute girl that that was like, oh, I like you. I think you're cool. And he's like, thanks. Well, that was another cute moment of the episode. It kind of shone an interesting light on this character, and like the potential of like his of that girl could be his like future girlfriend.
Maybe. Well, she's in the end song, so that tells you she's important.
Yeah, that's why I think she's important too, for sure.
This is some interesting things happen with her. You'll have to wait and see. But like Shishigami has, as you can see, the interesting conflict between like his sociopathy. I can do any. I'm a god amongst men. I'm going to like basically treat people like little ants and pluck them and flick them around just because I can. Versus there's more empathetic side that actually does like people. But unfortunately, his sociopathic side is going to kind of like create problems for his empathetic side.
Yeah, and it's a twist I didn't see coming at all. This reminds me very much of like the kinds of twists that Gantz would throw at you sometimes.
Playing with your expectations and like kind of going in a different direction than you'd expect.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It makes now I'm not quite sure how things are exactly going to play out, but um yeah, it heightens my interest more for the series now.
Yeah. So despite the fact that you felt that the whole thing was rushed, you still enjoyed this episode, and we didn't get as much Yakuza retribution action.
Yeah, I just felt like that scene where the kid and Inuyashiki meet up could have been like written better.
I don't know. I thought it was cute, the idea that he's like, help me, and it actually works, and he appears like Superman, and he's just like this old man. It's like, are you okay? Are you like? I think there's something charming. Like you could say that, like some elements are a little rushed because, like, I don't know. I think the moment where like, he's like exploring his powers, that's always a fun moment in these kind of stories, and that felt like it was like sped through.
Mm, yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, the pacing for the manga felt slow, and I was really praising this anime for like speeding up the pace for this series. But yeah, I wonder if they could have just like took a little breather, actually like extended this part a tiny bit more.
For that part, I don't really care. Like, I'd rather have Inuyashiki flying up for a satellite and, making a phone call. That to me is like super fun and like super magical realism and super like the wonder of, a modern day.
Yeah. Okay.
That to me is like a greater moment. So, what would you give this? What would be your score?
I mean, that beginning part bothered me a bunch, but I was really enjoying like exploring some more of what's his name, Shiki something,
Shishigami.
Shishigami's character. Uh, I had to give it like a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
I think it was a solid 8. There was like some material I thought could have been like I would have liked from the manga. I would have liked to have seen, but I think like cutting it didn't hurt it as much as like some of the Yakuza stuff. But I think it was a solid episode, and I like the dual dichotomy that they're like trying to make Shishigami empathetic. And oh man, it looks like they're gonna adapt the entire 80+ page manga in 12 episodes or 10 episodes, give or take. Like
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Next room. I wonder how this will compare against like the live action movie.
Was it a live action movie?
Yeah, it either came out or it's coming out. But okay, so yeah, we're on chapter 35 of 85 right now.
I don't think the live action would be any good. I don't think this would work that well as a live action.
I'd be interested to see it. Probably work better than Gantz, since there's only like one real. The main fantastical element is the robot bodies.
Maybe it worked. I mean, yeah, Gantz is a little bit ambitious live action. There's definitely more ambitious in this live action, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more low key story than Gantz, which I do like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think we're like literally a quarter way through the manga right now.
That's insane. There's only 5 episodes.
Yeah.
It has to wait. It's
what?
12 episodes for the entire anime, right?
I don't know what the episode count is. That's just what I think it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but if you go by that ratio, they'll be around 40, so it'll be like around half of it will be by episode 6. So it'll probably be 12 episodes for the entire thing.
Well, right now we're up to episode 5, so it's almost half.
Yeah, pretty much almost halfway through. Which is great. Which is good stuff. So I was a little bit more positive than you. You were a little bit annoyed. Although I think you were annoyed about the wrong thing. But overall, Inuyashiki still much better than Black Clover.
Yeah. This is better than Black Clover for sure.
It's our anime of the season, even though we're only watching 2 anime versus like.
Strangely, I gave them both the same score. I think today.
No, you gave Black Clover just a 7, while Inuyashiki you gave a 7.5.
Okay, yeah, but it's all about context. The context of how the series was going before as well.
True. That is a good thing. All right, so I think does that finish our thoughts about this week's episode?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that covers all our bases. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe, give us comments, and remember, lobsters are tennis, but don't you grab it.